Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summit presentation. This is iLeague Season 3, this is Dota 2, and it is the Chinese qualifiers. Here in the group stage, we've got a mega match for you guys. This is going to be just incredible. It's a TI4 Grand Finals rematch. Vici Gaming versus Newbee. Newbee, of course, have gone through some adjustments, and Vici some of their own, but all the same, these are two tremendous Chinese teams, and they're going to be going into just a little best of two to bolster up the group stage. But this also might be one of the crowning 6.83C matches. We're going to be looking at the patch in another day or two, I'd say, and with that, this might be the last time these two teams actually face on the TI4 patch, so well, post TI4, but still, I have to be excited. I have to say, these two teams, they're incredible to watch. They have some amazing strategy, and of course, they have a lot of history. So it's going to be very enjoyable to be able to cast this for you guys. I'm solo for this morning. Mostly going to be getting a lot of casters in for 6.84, so co-casters can break it down a little bit, help me go into Theorycraft City a little bit, but I myself am Blaze, and hopefully enjoy the solo cast for now. So opening things up, we've got the Sniper and Phantom Lancer band, the Bat Rider and Shadow Fiend band. So Newbee intentionally leaving Troll Warlord in to be snapped up by Vici, and they couple it up with the Witch Doctor. Their answer to Troll is the Earthshaker Storm, and then they go with the Witch. They are dealing with the Witch Doctor in response. Should be pretty interesting.
Reserve time.
Actually, I'm realizing now they had second pick, so never mind. They first picked Earthshaker. Yeah, okay. So they didn't ban Troll in Phase 1. They didn't pick him in their first pick, and they go for Earthshaker instead. So Troll kind of thrown by the wayside. Say, Vici, if you want him, you can have him. Troll Witch Doctor was the duo, and Storm Spirit was the response. Okay. So now we're going to see how Vici want to flesh this out here, get a good FY support maybe, or maybe we could see some good offlane for Ice, have some good flexibility in this lineup, but in the end you got to kind of lock down your lanes a little bit, make sure that you're going to have that early momentum. Troll Warlord really is a momentum hero. He doesn't have to end the game at a certain point in time, he has no time clock, but really he does benefit a ton from if your one team is dominating. He's going to be elsewhere dominating the objectives. He's going to take the structures. So we're going to see Dragon Knight here, actually picked up for Vici Gaming. And this isn't 6.84 yet, so maybe just kind of getting super used to something he's going to be picking a lot. Shaking off some rust, guys. This is going to be fun. It could be like something weird. I've seen support Dragon Knight actually do work, and people joke about it a lot, but somehow it's actually quite effective. But I think this should be super back on one of his classic signature heroes. Dragon Knight is just a force to be reckoned with, and he got some amazing buffs in 6.84. I definitely think we're going to see him a ton in the next patch, but for this one, I guess, yeah, a little bit of practice and a little bit of preparation for when that hero hits it big. That should be a lot of fun. But Newbee, they're not playing around. They say, okay, well, you can pick what you want. You can try your new meta strats. We're going for some big guns, and here's the Magnus. And of course, in immediate response to the Magnus pick is FY's Ruben. He's like, I already kind of like these spells. Let's see, Fisher, sounds good. Ball Lightning, not bad. And then Magnus gets picked, and he's like, oh yeah, rubbing his hands together. But FY, of course, is the drafter for Vici Gaming at the moment, so he's kind of pulling out all the stops, pulling out all the strats here, and obviously right now they've got a lot of potential chain stun. Telekinesis, you can pull them into the Dragon Knight, he can Dragon Tail without actually committing to his Elder Dragon form, and that's something you don't always get to say, so that's really cool. We're going to see Juggernaut come out, which isn't the best pick when you're up against like heavy armor hero like Dragon Knight or the Troll Warlord who can provide that mischance and such, but the best part about this combo is that Newbee are going to get the Empower on the Juggernaut. So what you're going to be lacking in terms of potency against some heroes, you're going to make up for with the fact that you can just farm so fast that you're going to be able to build yourself up really quickly and take some really good fights too. The one thing they're lacking is a lane babysitting support. It seems Vici Gaming are afraid of support Silencer. And if the Witch Doctor does want to get his Death Ward off, that kind of makes sense. But I actually don't think it would have been that painful to go up against with this draft as opposed to some others. So the Axe is going to be the final ban from Newbee. Vici aren't going to be able to round out their lineup with an Ice, Axe on the offlane. So what do they want to go to kind of control the tempo of the game. They could go for like Clockwork or something like that. I miss the old Elder Titan days. Those were really fun to watch Ice on that hero in particular, but I don't see that really being something that he goes for here. He doesn't know the other supports. Broodmother's not a good pick because Earthshaker's already half good against Brood, and then the other support could be really good if you pick her into it. What are some other picks that can throw your enemy off here? Well, I mean, if you're trying to break down the Magnus Juggernaut, you could go for like a Puck. Instant Silence, pretty strong. I would say Puck would be actually really strong, but Ice has to be comfortable with it. It's not like it's something that he's played recently. Tide is, of course, still in the pool. Not a bad pick by any stretch. Doom is always cool, but would have to be going like 3 patches back to really consider that pick. Until he gets the Doomlings. OP when you eat a mud golem and you split yourself when you die.
Faceless Void.
Well, they're going to go with the Void, and this makes perfect sense. Just good control. It's a good offlaner who's going to be able to contribute damage later on. It synergizes well with the Battle Trance, and it goes with the Death Ward. So, yeah, I figured that's going to be the ideal pickup here, and they can go Ice in the offlane Void. They can go for some kind of aggro try, and they can go Void safe. It doesn't really matter too much, but I'm almost positive Super's going to be taking the DK to the mid lane now, and with that, we should see a lot of activity on the runes. Dragonite is a very bottle-dependent hero. He chugs through that thing very quickly, so it's going to be important that he is able to kind of contest those positions and make sure that he has some assistance every time he rotates.
Skywrath Mage.
But as they're not up against something crazy like a Broodmother, Skywrath can be the last pick for Newbee, and it's going to be perfectly fine. Earthshaker, Skywrath, great. Bread and butter supports here, going to be able to contribute quite a bit, and the Instant Silence is the ideal thing here. Trying to lock down the Faceless Void. But yeah, we're going to be seeing Banana picking that one up. It's Sansheng running on the Earthshaker. Rabbit will be playing the Juggernaut, of course, in the safe lane. That'll leave Moo to take the Storm Spirit to the mid, and Moo Storm Spirit versus Super's Dragonite. I feel like I've seen this 100 times before, but it's been a while. It has been a long time since I've seen this kind of a matchup, and I am just on the edge of my seat, guys. This is fun. This is going to be awesome. But June is going to be the offlane Magnus, and we'll see what he can do. Probably early point in power around level 4, and then just kind of emphasis on making sure the Juggernaut keeps building himself up. All June really needs is the Blink Dagger to start. Force Staff would be nice, but the big thing he has to make sure he does is catch out FY in the RP. If FY sits back and waits for the reverse polarity, undoubtedly he's going to look for the spell steal, and this guy's got really good timing. He knows just exactly how to grab the spells that he wants, and honestly, Newbee, they're in for some trouble if they let him just play around like that. They have to kind of pressure the Rubik a little bit, which is something you don't often get to see. Usually you talk about controlling the troll. You look at him saying, okay, well, he's got a lot of mechanics that allow him to man up, even though he has a low health pool. So you have to control him, you have to disable him, and you have to nuke him down. But in this case, we're going to be seeing I think everybody has some threatening presence in the fights here for Vici. You want to control the troll, limit his output, and kill him off early, but you also have to make sure the Death Ward doesn't get out conveniently, the Void doesn't hit the massive 4-man chrono, and obviously the Rubik doesn't get all the spells he wants. You have to actually play around with this pretty heavily. So obviously they're going to just look to nuke somebody down. They have a good lineup for focusing one individual and taking them out of the fight, but assuming they don't have a BKB. But immediately after that jump and kill, they have to make sure that they kind of shut down the prime intention for all the members of Vici Gaming. And this is interesting. Ice, dropping an Observer Ward here in the river. This is not League of Legends. So with this ward, I gotta assume that the major thing is that it's never gonna be dewarded. I would actually like mention if this was against a Night Stalker that it's actually gonna be decent during darkness because it still sees that choke point in that rune during darkness. But you're not up against a Night Stalker. You are seeing Sansheng make your rotation, and this is gonna help him avoid the Fisher block. But he's got Time Walk anyway, so I don't think it'll be too devastating if he got caught out here at level 1. And he's actually very trolly this game, it looks like. He's already fake casting Time Walks. He's already Just messing with his enemy support. They know Banana. Actually, I don't know. The smoke actually probably didn't detect it, so I guess they don't know about this courier. And again, the Dragonite is super bottle dependent, so wow, this could be huge. It's Banana going in. Can he get it before the bottle comes out? Yes. The bottle goes down, and Super is without restoration for the next 2.5 minutes of this mid lane. That is insane. That is just a perfect way to start move off for success. He's already going to be leading, but he's going to be just dominating the lane from this point forward. As soon as he gets his bottle, that's when the advantage really shows. He's going to salve up now, get 180 more gold, get the bottle out, and then he's just going to be starting to run over Super. And there's nothing the Dragonite can do. But let's talk about early last hits. We do see Troll Warlord doing fine under the bottom lane. ISSI's taking a lot of hits, only one backtrack, but he'll salve up all that HP lost from Banana, exhausting some mana here. But yeah, FY is just completely zoning out Magnus here. He's only level 1 2/3, so Troll's going to be able to just kind of see us continuously. And they did go for a pull earlier on the camp there, so good stuff. The Fenrir rotation from Witch Doctor does do some good damage to Storm Spirit, but he's mostly here just to take the lane. He realizes Dragonite has to go back to base. There's no way he stays out here for much longer with the continuous harassment of the Storm Spirit, and yeah, just doesn't want any of that. Nice position from the Earthshaker, might catch out the Witch Doctor in this position here, and that would be obviously creating more opportunities for the Storm Spirit, who does now have his bottle. So, really, just demolishing the mid lane here is Moo with the help of his supports. First the Skywrath and now the pressure from the Earthshaker could create an opportunity, but Fenrir goes back in the smoke and he doesn't want to get chain stunned. Dragonite Witch Doctor is actually a pretty impressive dual lane if you guys haven't seen it. The combination of Malediction with the Breathe Fire, it is a very powerful nuke. Like, this is only level 1 Malediction, so it's not going to show much with bottle offsetting it, but it is actually, like, if you want to go for a cheesy dual lane, Dragonite Witch Doctor is actually solid because you can go, obviously, the cask to set up the Dragon Tail, and then as soon as Malediction comes out, you throw out the Breathe Fire, and you get that full damage amplified. Top lane, we're going to see some pressure coming out. Ice. We're not really going to, we're just going to see the creeps messed up a little bit. He's actually last hitting over the Fissure while this Radiant pull comes through. So, Ice was able to pull this across by breaking down the tree, and that forces Newbee to try to last hit it, and they do miss out on that Radiant creep. When a neutral kills off one of those creeps, it's 100% experience lost. They don't get a single piece of that. So they really got to make sure those Radiant creeps are the ones they secure the kills on. In the meantime, finally, Super will get both boots and bottle off the courier, and the lane will be reset a little bit. But look at the damage. 18 and 8 on Moo's Storm Spirit, 8 and 0 on the Dragonite. Without a bottle, he just really doesn't have a stake in the lane. FY, just messing with June for right now, zoning him out further. That's going to cause us to miss the first blood up top. Ice. He's been playing really well as far as just how he's maneuvered on the lane, kind of seeing everything coming, dodging it out. But in this case, he gets silenced, and they're able to connect with the Fissure, so the Blade Fury will bring him down. That amplification of magical damage. Oh, we're going to see that combo. Seeing the Breathe Fire come out onto Moo. I don't know if he dies because he has so many bottle charges, but he will take a lot of damage here. And no, the bottle offsets it, and he will be alright. It's a good combo against targets that can't heal sporadically. Like the aspect of bottle shifting how much HP you have current to max actually changes the damage the Maledict would do to you. It reduces that. So FY gonna find a flank to gank. Gonna get the stun out onto Sansheng here. Good combo. And the last hit going to Dragonite. But we're gonna see the Magnus rotate in June. Just taking the lane for himself now. Going for no heroes, just the creeps. And seeing what he can accomplish here. Meantime, Storm Spirit did clear out one jungle camp with his mana pool, and then he's going to head back. Now the pull with this tree cut down, Banana's going to look for it, but these creeps are already in contest, and they're not going to be distracted by any neutral creeps nonsense. Our Rabbit, though, going to try to put out some pressure onto Ice, misses, backtracks a crit and misses the other one, but still, seeing some good movement here. Level 6 Storm Spirit. Is there some damage, I guess? Yeah, they're going to try for it. Fenrir's pretty low, so they might go for a tower dive, but it would cost Moo his life. Has to think twice about this one. He's taking a lot of damage. The Malediction is going to take him very low. He has to bottle hard. The last tick will not kill him off. In fact, he'll dodge it out with the Ball Lightning, but still a very aggressive play for a little bit of damage on a support. And the support Earthshaker makes his way down bottom. So Magnus takes the mid lane temporarily. Sansheng down in the bottom lane. Generally speaking, you would see this happening when the sorcerer has a bunch of stacks here, and he's going to get a double with the shockwave connecting. But that's about it. There's the stack that's right next to the top lane, and that's not really ideal to farm. And then there's this one that they even missed the double on. So honestly, I don't think this is the best way to rotate the Storm out. Like, he doesn't, like, Moo, who is supposed to be like building himself up quickly and snowballing right now, is actually falling behind. It does help out the Magnus a ton. So Sansheng and June are going to get a lot more out of the lanes. But I feel like losing out on your Storm Spirits farm is not necessarily worth that. The Earthshaker kind of becomes a semi-core, but at the cost of your Storm Spirit's real tempo. So he's got to go for like a Bloodstone build or something else that's kind of slow rolling. For now, he'll go for Treads, and we'll see how he progresses. Up top, we see two Smoked waiting for their opportunity to just jump, and Banana's going to bait it out. So we're going to see Ice dodging past them. Banana definitely going to be going down, but they don't. Looks like they won't be able to get Rabbit in this. He's going to go for the Omni Slash. Aggressive play, but he gets a crit at the end. So he will be able to bring down the Juggernaut, and with June's reinforcement, they can't get a rebuttal kill. So now charging under tower with the haste rune. It looks like he'll back off, but still Moo ready to pounce if they feel comfortable again. Ice has the Chronosphere, but not just yet. Needs level 6 right now. Fenrir goes down to the quick nukes and diving into the tree line. Static Remnant will give vision, but they see FY instead. So Ice just going to go on the run, leave FY for dead, and it looks like he'll succeed. No, he's going to go in. He doesn't have Chrono. Ice trying to bait him into super, and they may just succeed. There's the Dragon Tail connecting, but under the Remnant, they take a lot of damage here. They don't want that. Super feeding his life away to the Fisher, and Ice going down too. Oh, the last hit. Not going to be enough. There was no overload on that one, but still. Ice stuck around a very long time and kind of baited his team into it, like FY going in, the super going in. All of that didn't have to happen. It does create space for the Troll to push the tier 1, and this should go down since he did go for the max fervor build here. As you can see, no ultimate just yet, 224. But I don't know, it's still a heavy loss in this early game, losing out on the early heroes, and that's a really big deal in my mind. Troll Warlord going to be able to bring down the tier 1 for sure, and that will open up the map a little bit for him. He'll get his Morbid Mask next, presumably, and yeah, he can pretty much do jungle, look at smoking Roshan, stuff like that. But you have to remember, Vici were the ones to initiate that fight by smoking top, and they absolutely got crushed, just bit by bit, as they went deeper and deeper. They got one kill initially, I think, on the Skywrath, and then from there, it just went all downhill. Now RP is available. Omni Slash cooling down in 20 seconds. And even these supports are finding their levels. They're level 5, approaching level 6, and FY is still not even halfway through level 4. So a lot of ground to make up for here. June's going to start stacking things up. They're manipulating the jungle pretty well, but how? Trying to do a little bit of the same. Trying to do ward the classic between tier 1 and tier 2 ward, as there were heroes in that vicinity, but they end up doing something a little bit more passively, and neither sentry sees it. That's a really big deal. Neither sentry indicating this choke point vision, which is going to show secret shot movement and in general a bit of the top lane, as you can see. Still, Storm Spirit going to be jungling it up, taking care of business in that capacity with the Soul Ring, so that he's able to move up towards his next item. And I do think it probably will be the Bloodstone build. It makes a lot of sense up against the Chronosphere and the Dragon Tail, those long, hard stuns and disables, to try to make sure that you can sustain through that. And the durability of the Bloodstone is pretty much unparalleled for the alternative first item pickups for Storm. Smoking a seed up for Ice. Not sure exactly what he intends to use with it right now, but as it is, he's just kind of sitting 1v3 and trying to make sure he doesn't get caught in a bad situation. But Fisher, they're going to look for the silence, and they will get the Omni Slash against him. That is a little awkward there. Losing Ice, just letting the Skywrath Mage walk in range for a silence. Not a lot of this being ideal. June is going to send in his illusions. The tier 1 is going to fall quickly, and Troll's got to push harder and harder to make up for it here on the bottom lane. Like, they have got to start pressuring this tier 2 and fast. Otherwise, they're just losing on all fronts. We're going to see the smoke break, and Banana will be caught out here trying to de-ward the high ground. He's going to go down, so good combo there. Just using the Malediction and all of that nuke damage. In the meantime, dire structures were fortified down bottom, so Troll really doesn't get all that much, and you're going to see June pick up his Arcane Boot. So still far away from the Blink Dagger, but, you know, it's coming eventually. And Moo going to go for the stack here, so this is going to be really huge. When the Empower comes out, I didn't actually scale it up at level 4, so we're going to see it here at level 8, and then he's probably going to max it out from there. 4-4-2 is pretty common these days when you've got a carry that can really benefit from Empower. And Rabbit with the Yasha will have that increased base damage that will be amped up 50%. So with the attack speed enhancement, with the damage times 1.5, yeah, he's going to be feeling really good to farm things up really quickly. Let's look at overall graphs right now. We're going to see that although for a brief moment Vici were pulling ahead, that very quickly went the other way. Newbee now in control of the early game here. 2,500 gold and almost 2,000 experience in favor of Newbee in this early game. They have just really been moving on up. They've been finding really good kills, finding really good engagements, and farming just more efficiently. Like, you look at the jungle right now, there are no white dots in the dire jungle, and that's because of their just efficiency as a whole. They're all going to spawn here at 12, but the entire jungle wiped out by the team while stacking the Ancients, while moving about the map and playing aggressively. They're going to find how. Nice smoke movement, finding an opportunity where they can just jump onto the Troll, and that hero is pretty much the only one they haven't taken down yet. On the Radiant side, he was the only one without a death. They focus him down and they open up Roshan for themselves. That's just a great time to go for a play like that. Now they've got Empowered, they'll take Roshan, and the Healing Ward will still keep Rabbit healthy enough that he could go for the 13-10 Ancient farming. First and foremost, got to take down the big boss man. Aegis will go to the Storm Spirit, but I'm curious if Rabbit goes to farm or to look for push. I mean, obviously they can push with the fact that they have the Aegis advantage, but if Rabbit wanted to right now, I'm sure they can just stack this at 13 minutes, and they do refresh the Empower, so it seems like Rabbit wants to chew into this juicy stack, and he feels capable, and it is going to be a successful stack. So just look at his farm jump up here. Net worth at 6780 after killing Roshan, after killing 2 heroes and getting 2 assists, but he's going to be jumping up to nearly 8,000 with all these creeps going down. Mask of Madness, Healing Ward, all he really needs, and he's just going to be just demolishing these Ancients, really just chopping them down, doing some really good work, and it looks like about 7,900 is going to be that amount there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Suddenly jumps up 1,200 gold on net worth and is practically at a Manta style if he wants it. Scotty could actually be a nice item to progress with. Again, I talked about the value of HP when it comes to fighting up against that Chronosphere, but I also could go for a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger on the Juggernaut is not too shabby, and obviously dodging out the Omni Slash would prevent any opportunity for them to use things like Death Ward against you. Ice, Ice, Ice. Oh, Rabbit breaks the smoke, and Ice, Ice, Ice immediately jumps away. They've got a ward up there, but there are some other smoked heroes, and FY can't disengage fast enough. He won't pull him down the cliff. He's just going to go for the Storm Jump onto the Dragon Knight. He goes down quick with the help of the Fisher, but I think the others will get out. They're actually going to be able to TP away successfully. So, honestly, considering how aggressive they were in the dire jungle, the fact they only lose the Dragon Knight there is actually a good thing for Vici. They could have lost a whole lot more. And they're just going to rotate to the other lanes. Ice, Ice, Ice. Now looking to push out mid. Mask of Madness complete and the Battle Trance online. So, and at level 2 at that. So, the Void's damage output, his offensive potential, has been really limited until right this moment. But suddenly, he goes from having this basic 38 attack speed from Treads. Oh, man. Juggernaut, Omni Slash kill onto the Rubik, as I'm talking about that. But, yeah, adding in 38 attack speed from Treads is all he's had. But now getting the Mask of Madness complete with the Battle Trance, he's going to jump up an extra 220 increased attack speed. So 258 increased attack speed from only the 38 he had from items before. And that's just a huge difference. See, look at it right here. He's going to get the Battle Trance, Treads, Mask of Madness, and goodbye, June. Just needs one bash, and it comes out at the very end. And there you go. Attack speed scaling really hard for the Time Lock Void, and that's going to be a pickoff that he wouldn't have been able to acquire without that item and that skill. So, really, a good forward momentum for Vici Gaming. Absolutely necessary to find those offensive pickoffs. We have the Bloodstone complete on the Storm, and he's got Aegis. Very aggressive movement here. He's out of mana, but he seems to be happy to take it up with his first life and going with the second one. Death Ward warding them off, though, and it looks like he'll try to just ball away. Moo gets stunned immediately. Great combo there from FY's Fisher, as well as the Dragon Tail, but in the end, they can't actually lock him down further. So he's going to be jumping away. Banana now on the front line. Nice Fisher from Sansheng, keeping them back, and they're going to re-engage. Moo gets a long jump hit onto Super despite the skewer back, but the RP does really nothing, and now it's Vici to gain momentum in this fight. They're going to be able to just bully down this tower, it looks like. The Corrosive Breath ticking away, and Hao committing to a little bit longer before falling back. So, that was actually insane. Just a very back and forth engagement with a lot committed from Vici, but all of their spells are really short cooldowns other than the Chronosphere. So, really, I can't say that Vici invested too much here without the Chrono, and they got a lot more. 3-0 over time. I mean, obviously one of those is just the Aegis kill, but it's still something they were worried about at this stage in the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they start to pull ahead. I have moving back towards maybe 2k gold, 2,500 experience. Right now they're at just below 3k in disadvantage, but they're going to be able to open up the map a little bit on the back of that. Super's going to farm more actively. We're actually seeing Moo get involved onto Hao. Moo is pretty low on mana, but he pops the Regen Rune, and I think he wants to keep going on this Troll. Dire Vision doesn't show him just yet. He's going to cross pass with him very shortly. There it is. He's going to see him, but doesn't look to actually expend his mana offensively. He's got that Regen Rune, but he's afraid of getting stunned out, and Moo will just hop away after farming some creeps. And they're not really stacking the Ancients anymore. Could go for that, but it looks like Rapid's just going to farm those up piece by piece. Up top, we're going to see the Chronosphere come through. Ice with the Battle Trance will find himself another kill. So he's going to pull himself up to 2-2-1 from a 0-2-1 start. Really nice. Items-wise, Shadowblade is up for Troll. Going to be up soon for the Dragon Knight. How many Shadowblades will they go is a interesting question. I guess it's just the fact that the supports are so easy to pick off that like you can actually kill them before they get the chance to respond to things like Sentry Wards. But they do have quite a few down now. Banana Sentry's over here, so they know about it, having the Obs Ward taken care of. And actually going to be a Death Ward against Moo. And they're going to be able to bring him down. So good stuns there. Bloodstone charges being used to bring him back up quickly, and he is going to be responding. So Vici can't really press the attack here. Mahao is going in deep with the Shadow Blade and going to be able to bring down Sansheng, but Moo's going to be back in this fight very soon, so it could go south very quickly for Vici. First, FY will fall. Super's got to do some major work here. Does bring down June despite the RP and stuns out Rabbit. The Omni Slash going to bounce a lot on the Dragon's armor if he even gets a chance. Moo falling in hard, but he's going to get stunned out a little bit. And now he's out of mana. He's completely out of mana. He's going to die a second time. He'll have to suicide. Now buying back. Risusu Rabbit going in for the stun combo, but he can't even finish him off. The Dragon Blood and the Dragon Tail doing amazing work. In the end, the Sentry Ward will come down, but jeez, what a fight from Vici Gaming. Something that looked to be very overzealous to a degree worked out so well because they made the RP pretty much useless. They killed the Magnus right when the RP came out, so that even if he bought back, he wouldn't have anything to bring to the table. They stunned out the Juggernaut with his first life. They forced him to buy back just to get that kill on the Dragon Knight. Just all in all, a very nice engagement from Vici Gaming. And they pull forward, taking another tower as well. Storm Spirit, dying, respawning, and suiciding really hurts his progression. He wants to go for Orchid pretty quickly here, but I really just don't see that happening anytime soon. He has fallen far behind. He's down to 4 Bloodstone charges, and that road to recovery is going to be a long one. Still, the Blink Dagger does come out for the Sansheng. It looks like June is still looking for his. This is interesting. The support Earthshaker is actually going to be able to pick up his Arcane's Blink before the offlane Magnus. And it really comes down to that lane rotation I was talking about earlier. Oh, Moose sees him over the trees with the Static Remnant. There's going to be a great Chronosphere, though, onto 3, essentially taking 4 out. Only the Healing Ward involved in this fight. They're all going to go on the run away from the Death Ward, away from the Radiant Jungle, but Super comes in. They won't give them the chance. Shadowblade stun locks down the Storm Spirit, and that's the power of that item right there. Even if you stack it up, you get that initiation, you get those kills, and they pick up another one by killing off Storm again. That's right, he's down to 2 Bloodstone charges suddenly, and they're going to push heavily on this tier 2. So, and steal some Ancients, because why the hell not? Just a great movement in general. Ice with a big-ass Chrono, and of course the Death Ward to follow. Super. Getting the stun out of Shadows, just to clean it up. Hardcore. And how? See, like, he's the pusher, and he says, yeah, you guys got that tower, no problem. They'll force the glyph, they'll take the tier 2 tower, and Troll will still be farming more efficiently elsewhere. It's just, they're really confident in how capable they are at taking certain objectives. They don't have to force them. They just take them piece by piece. They get a nice aggressive ward here. We are going to see Fenrir place that one out at a pretty good time, and even blocking off the Ancient spawn. So that's going to be delaying the farm of the Juggernaut just a little bit here. ISSI is trying to kill off 1 or 2 golems before it leaves, and feeling in a pretty good spot. I mean, look at the jump. Suddenly, 4,000 advantage to Vici Gaming, 5,000 experience. And again, they don't exhaust too many cooldowns. The only thing they have to worry about is the Chrono CD, and that's coming back up in 30 seconds. So they're ready to fight on all fronts again. Those lane rotations early on gave Sancheng this earlier Blink Dagger, but I feel like the Magnus is the one who really needs it. I mean, if Sancheng pulls out some great Blink Echo Slam, I'm fine with it, but that last fight, he just got caught in the Chrono and died accomplishing nothing. Now we're going to see that push down bottom. Rabbit, oh man, thought it was safe to farm. Wrong he was. The Shadow Blade stun initiation and the follow through from all of Vici Gaming.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Is that the Elder Dragon form? Yeah, Super's popping it. He's going to go. Green and Red Dragon. Going to drop some Corrosive Breath onto this tower here. And we're going to be seeing him kind of just chip that down a little bit here and there. How? Kind of all by himself, but there are limited sentry range. Like the Moo can jump in, but he doesn't have the sentry wedge the Earthshaker does, so not really the ideal. They'll just back off after doing some damage. It's kind of weird to use the Elder Dragon form like that. Like, literally, he traded his ultimate for 350 damage on a tower. But, in the end, they're still going to go for Roche, take that down pretty quickly, and feel in a pretty good position. So, I'm thinking that Newbee really just have to find a major opening here. June farming up his Blink Dagger is the first important thing, but after that, they really have to find a way to lock the Chronosphere down. If they can't prevent the Chronosphere, ISSI is going to set up everybody else, and it's just going to be a chain of effect of everybody getting exactly what they want on the side of Vici tactically. I mean, right now Troll is building up fast. He's actually looking for a gank here. Could kill off June. He did just get the Blink Dagger, so this kill doesn't matter as much, but still, what a morale breaker. Being killed off just like that in your own jungle in a fraction of seconds. And even Banana looking to be going down. He has no HP to work with and no Ghost Scepter to survive. He just gets right-clicked down. So Hao gets a double kill just walking on into the enemy jungle with a little bit of support from Vici. Dragon Knight is a hero that we're going to be seeing a lot more of these days, guys. He is 6.84. He is the Pomeranian that's just been oh my gosh, going in. The Death Ward's in the Chronosphere, so Fenrir messed that up, but it doesn't matter at all. Nowadays, the Death Ward inside the Chronosphere doesn't trigger. You have to have it outside the Chronosphere in order for it to work, but it doesn't cost them anything there. Super, another Elder Dragon form, popping it onto the tower, taking these tier 3s down very quickly. And Newbee are kind of on their last legs already. Like, it's kind of flipped a light switch, but around the time this fight started winning, oh, we're going to see a good RP coming through. RP stolen, of course, from FY. He's got the Blink Dagger. He'll get an amazing one, but everybody's dead for it. Ice the only one alive. Troll respawning shortly. They're actually not going to be able to follow it up and instead get skewered under the tier 4s. Hal's doing the best he can to trade the hits. Moo's pretty low on mana, so it looks like it'll be a clean disengage. And Sancheng desperate for something as he buys back. So, wow, that was actually pretty insane. The Echo Slam RP there, doing tremendous work. Huge damage coming in from the Storm Spirit as well. I think he went for a long-range ball on that fight. So, really good damage coming in from Moo. But as a whole, great fight coming in from them. The RP does get stolen, does go the other way, as you would expect. But because they killed off the AoE damage dealers so quickly, it didn't matter too much. Hao still respawning from the Aegis. So he really couldn't do what he intended in that situation. So, Empower's just about maxed out, and June has actually got to take care to actually cover this Empower buff up. It's tough because you want to keep spamming the buff on your nearby allies, but honestly, Shockwave is a much better spell to give to the Rubik than Empower at this stage of the game. Because if you give Empower to the Troll and to the Void based on the Rubik's deal, you're going to be in a pretty bad way. For now, I think Rubik's content to hold on to his Blink RP, but as soon as that's on cooldown, he's going to be looking for something else. And it's going to be Fenrir looking for that Death Ward to channel with the Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Ice seems to be looking for the Maelstrom and Mjolnir. And BKB is picked up by Super, so pretty good spot for him to be in. Can nullify a lot that comes in from the Skyrat, the Earthshaker, even the Storm. And Storm goes for a completely different item. He had that Ultimate Orb previously, but it looks like he's not comfortable with, he went for the Robe of Magi earlier. He's not going to go for the Orchid now. Realizes that's just not going to work for him, so he goes for a casual Robe of the Magi. And we'll see what the Ultimate Orb turns into. If he was doing well, I'd say Scythe, but he might just have to go for Linkens. We'll see. Rabbit lifted up here, Chain Stun, no Dragon Tail. He didn't Dragon Tail, so Hao is going to eat the Zombie Slash underneath the Mystic Flare, but they still turn it on Rabbit and bring him down. Hao has to go on the run. He doesn't really have much HP to work with, but Ice hits the current onto 2. Mood dropping low, and Hao just trying to provide a little bit of long-range support. Sansheng looking for the stuns. He barely gets one off before he nearly goes down. Bloodstone heals him up, and he gets the Echo Slam out, but Hao still survives. The Bloodstone heal triggered by the death of the Storm Spirit over here as they finish him off on the high ground, and now they look in for the racks. They look for the mid lane, and with their hero scaling, that might just be the one thing that tips the scales. Yeah, Banana just calls it outright. GG. 1 Rax is sufficient, and FY celebratory Rubik RP. Rubik Polarity, is that a thing? Anyways, that's going to be the game here for game 1 of this 2-game series. Vici Gaming, take it away. They started off a little shaky, but around 20 minutes in, really started just dominating the fights. Used the Chronosphere effectively. The shift really was when Ice got his Mask of Madness. When he could start finding solo kills, when he could start finding opportunities to get in position for the multi Chronos. Just really, Ice stepped up his game and everybody followed suit. That was really good movement from them. Just started to control things a little bit better, and it showed that no matter how far the Juggernaut got, no matter how much GPM Rabbit had, he couldn't do it when he was getting controlled that hard. That was Vici's lineup. Really well drafted, really well thought out, and although it took a little bit of momentum this morning, Vici Gaming do pull ahead. So they take the first game. We're going to go into game 2 of this 2-game series, and we'll see what Newbee can do to bounce back. Thanks for tuning in once again to Beyond the Summit. If you enjoyed the commentary, look me up on twitter.com/blazecasting and check out beyondthesummit.tv for your coverage hub for all things BTS, whether it be stuff like iLeague like this or the Summit 3, which I will be attending in, 10-11 days. I'm excited. I'm really pumped for that. But going into game 2, just a few minutes here, Newbee versus VG Gaming in the iLeague Chinese qualifiers group stage.